Ladies and gentlemen, introducing No Objective Gaming with Aaron and Jordan. Bring it on! Turn that shit up!
Welcome to another episode of No Objective Gaming. This is episode 50. 50, dude. 50 episodes.
50 whole episodes of shit talking
about video games.
Two idiots.
Yeah. And I'm Aaron. And we've got
Jordan.
Far out, man. And we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about are board games making a comeback? Are they? What do you guys reckon? Yeah. Who knows?
Do they ever leave?
Do they ever leave? Or have they always been there? I don't know. Are they more acceptable? They're not so nerdy anymore? I don't know.
We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out when we get to the main topic. After the small news segment that we've got today.
The shitey little news segment we've got going on here.
Yeah, it's very quiet at the moment in the video game world. How you going?
It's pretty quiet.
Yeah.
It's Hero. Hero's here.
That's nice.
Mate, absolute legend. Didn't mind a little donation last night.
Oh, what a mad dude,
after
mate.
seeing my Zen play.
The Zen plays, hey?
I appreciate his compliments.
Nice.
I think he thinks I'm a lot better than I actually am, but it's okay.
I don't know why the chat isn't coming through on here either.
That's really weird.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, sure. Just click properties. Go back to that. Yeah, that's it.
Props.
Click OK. Okay, there you go. And then now it should come through. This happens on mine all the time.
It does happen to yours?
Yeah.
What the
it's
hell?
really weird. Now it should come through.
It's not.
It's not.
It's
is
not.
Is it up high enough?
We can keep pushing it up higher.
Yeah.
But I still don't think it's going to do anything.
Okay. That's
Oh, mate.
And it was coming through there.
I know.
Zach, the main man.
The Zach's here. The real Zach. He's
No,
not even the fake Zach. He's the real one.
There is only Zach.
There's only
there
the real
is
Zach.
no Peter. Only Zool. So yeah, what have you been? Actually, I'll talk about what I've been
you
playing
talk
this week.
while I fix.
You
this.
sort the chat out, mate.
Yeah, mate.
Come on, put your nerd hat on and sort this out. Fix all our problems. Do everything.
Yeah, I always do.
I'll bark orders.
Yeah, and I'll fix them.
That's right.
Yeah.
As long as we get that, we know that's the dynamic we're working with here, then that's fine.
That's how No Objective Gaming works.
That's right, yeah. Man, I've been playing a few things this week. Not a bit of everything.
Nice, mate. Nice.
So started off streaming Tuesday was a Super Metroid stream.
Oh, nice. How far are you in that game now?
Okay, so I just beat Dragon. For people who know, I don't know either, so I can't tell you. I don't know, but I just beat Dragon. He was a fucked up fight. That was so annoying.
Really?
Then I figured out actually how I was going to beat him, and I beat him quite easily.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm not really sure what happened there. But anyway, it's a good game. It's just a good amount of fun. I really can't understate how I understand why this is up there.
Yeah.
I looked up a list, a separate list to what we were talking about, and it was like this top 50 scientifically proven best games of all time. And it actually runs through the metric of how they come up with it. And it was really cool. I'll see if I can find it on here after I'm done talking shit.
Yeah.
And it just, I don't know. It was it's just good fun. And it's tough, but then it's not so tough that it like slams you.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So not one of those like, I don't give a shit. Like you've got save points. It's not too hard.
Yeah, I noticed that you don't lose much health either. So it's kind of like you just hop around.
Well, if you find enough little what are they called? Fucking containers. They're like containers that have energy.
Yeah.
And you basically get another health bar. So I've got like 5 health bars at the moment.
Nice.
And it's good. Like you can. I mean, obviously the game gets more difficult.
Yeah. Of course, as it would, as any game would.
Yeah, but it's good fun. I just really like it. Appreciate Fraser's recommendation on that one. And I played a bit of Deus Ex, Mankind Divided, some of the DLC for that.
Yeah.
Finished another one of the DLC. That was pretty good. It was like a prison break. that was pretty tough, to be honest, because you don't have your augmentations, you don't have your what do you call it? You don't have anything. You have weapons, but you have to find them, and then even then, like you depends on how you want to play.
Okay.
So that was a pretty good part of the DLC. And then Wednesday was the big tabletop stream.
That's right. Yeah, I saw that. That was good.
So
That looked awesome.
we were having Emily and I
Yeah.
jumped on. We've got newfound love in Star Wars Destiny. We're back.
You're back?
I'm back with
Back
Star Wars
right into
Destiny.
it?
We had a long time off there.
Okay.
A long time off, and now I'm back, and I'm here to stay. I think
You're here to stay in the world of it.
It's a great game. It's fun. It's something Emily and I can do together, and we really enjoy it. Star Wars Destiny. It's a great game. If you haven't seen that stream, go watch it. We tried to explain the game, but I think it's really
It's tough to always try and explain a game. Like you
Oh,
can't.
yeah.
Board games are a tough game. They're just
Yeah.
hard to explain when you get to the top tier of board games instead of playing Monopoly or checkers
Oh,
or
yeah.
something like that. That's when they get
Like,
rough.
It's an easy enough game to learn. So like you can. I almost want like people if you want to learn if you want to watch like because we are going to play it a few more times, but if you want to know how the game's flowing and stuff, I
Yeah.
recommend that you just go and look up just some simple rules for the game. It's really easy.
Big Papa Synth reckons we should play The Evil Within 2. I was going to play that on launch. I really was,
Yeah.
Big Papa, but then I kind of looked at it and went, they made a section of the game open world.
Oh.
And I think that takes away the horror element. I don't know what it is. Like, I don't like open world horror games.
I don't think I know any.
There's a few type of ones, like Alone in the Dark on the Xbox 360.
That was open world.
That was open world, and you had Times Square or whatever, Madison Square Garden, whatever it's called. You
okay.
had that whole area to explore.
Right.
I didn't like it. It kind of felt like Dead Rising. That's what they feel like when they're open world.
Okay, yeah.
Instead of like
Scripted.
hallways, and when you walk past certain sections, it triggers certain things. I really like that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So we're doing Pandemic next week.
Pandemic, nice.
Real Zach has requested us to play Pandemic.
And Big Papa Synth reckons it's pretty badass. I'll definitely get it when it's cheap,
Yeah.
and I will do it. I've got Evil Within 1 that I could do that as well. I thought that was pretty scary at the
Yeah.
beginning of the game, that one.
Thursday was another Super Metroid stream. Jump back on for that. That was when. So, but I've already talked about that. So
Yeah.
And then last night was a couple of things.
Yeah, what'd you do, mate? I
Mate.
see. All I saw was you playing Overwatch, and then I went to
Mate.
sleep.
We played Overwatch,
Mhm.
and then after a while, I was having a real bad time. So I was like, Fraser, let's play Fortnite.
And you downloaded
We
Fortnite.
downloaded downloaded it while I was streaming, and
Yeah.
I was just like, "Yep, let's do it." He's streaming in about 8 hours. No worries, Big
Nice.
Papa.
We'll do it. I'll jump on for a bit.
So yeah, I was. Yes, Emily's-
Pandemic, is that? Are you playing the version where you have to actually stick the stickers to the
No.
board? Okay,
I
good.
don't have that. It's really expensive. Legacy, it's called.
Yeah, the
But-
legacy one. It's basically almost a one-time
Yeah.
use.
That's
You
what-
can't- yeah.
Well, but each. It's got lots of hours of gameplay because
Okay.
each section you go. It's like a campaign, but each section is like one game of regular
Yeah.
Pandemic.
Because that's why I didn't buy it, because I was like, you stuff your board by sticking stickers
Now we've
on
got
it.
the original edition, so
Okay.
just the standard like pull it out and then you
Pull
got-
it out, mate.
pull it out, whip it out.
Yeah.
You got half an hour. It's about half an hour to complete a game.
Okay.
If you're proficient at the game, we've played it about 3 times. It's
Okay.
tough.
All right.
It's a real challenge, and it's also really fun. It's because it's totally cooperative.
Sounds
So we're doing that Wednesday. Then we're on to So Fortnite was interesting. It's a pretty good game.
Yeah, you liked
It's
it?
a really small map. That's disappointing.
Okay, so
it's-
it's not big.
Yeah, I'm not sure that it's as. It'd be more fun with 4 people, I reckon.
Instead of the standard 2.
Yeah, and I almost think the 50v50 would be better than the Battle Royale.
I'm keen to see the 50v50. I am keen to see
Yeah.
how that mode works, because it's like a build your fortress and see who lasts longest or something like that. Yeah.
Pandemic Legacy Season 2 now. Yeah, I've seen that at shops.
You have to. You have to go buy a new board. That's why, because everyone's stuffed their boards now.
Mm.
But yeah, what have I played? I played Max Payne 1, dude. I've been smashing out that during the day. That's been great.
That's right.
I think that's such a good game, man. I'm so tempted to stream that game because I love the narration through it as well. How you walk over to any type of thing and it's like, the painkillers, they help you get by. And he's got this real rough voice like your kid.
Is that it's like Max Payne 3, remember that? Where you're walking along and he just starts talking to himself? And
it's because, basically they've taken from number 1.
Yeah.
And it's great. It's such a good game. So dark as well. Like the way your family gets killed at the beginning and you walk home from just a night of being at work. You're a police officer and you walk in and all you see is like a baby's cot turned over with blood and this baby's arm hanging out of like the thing. It's just rough as. And then you walk in, your wife's just dead on the bed. And then it's all about these drug dealers that are selling the drug called V, right? V. And and you've got to try and bust them, and you're just basically killing people. And then the cops, they think you're bad because you're just going on a pillaging rampage, killing drug dealers and
pillaging rampage.
It's awesome, man. It's great. And I haven't finished Max Payne 2, but I finished Max Payne 1 like 4 times.
Jesus.
But it's because I loved it, man. That was my childhood game as well. I forgot.
Along with Final Fantasy,
Yeah, I
Max
know.
Payne, 2 very different
They're
games.
so different. I don't even know how I got Max Payne. I don't even know. I don't know how it came into my
Yeah.
possession.
PS2, isn't it?
Yeah. But the faces, they look like comic book characters on like this weird head that's so bizarre. And I also started a PS3 version of Dark Souls 1 just in my alone time, just bashing out that. I wanted to see the difference, and I'm so happy I'm playing on PC.
Oh, yeah? How bad is
The
it?
frame drops are just yuck, man.
Oh, they're real bad.
Real bad.
Ooh.
And it makes it hard. It makes it hard when the frames
when
are
you make
going
it
down.
hard, man.
Yeah,
It's
make
good
it
when you make it
real
hard.
hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
And played some more Diablo.
You did.
Played a bit more of that.
Yeah, you're a little bit fed up with that.
Yeah, I just can't. I can't cop it at the moment. I don't know why. I feel like there's no progression. All it is you're farming gear. And I'm like Paragon level 150 and still haven't got all my gear for my character yet.
Yeah. Those games is what you do, just a gear farm. And
Yeah.
I like them, but that's why I'm like, I want to play Torchlight 2 because I haven't played the shit out of it. It's okay to farm those games
Yeah, fair enough.
when you haven't played them. How many hours have we sunk into Diablo over the years, man?
Oh, way too many hours.
So you
And
just
I've even played the console version as well, and I
Yeah.
pumped hours into that. And it's just, I don't know. Danielle's smashing it. She loves it. She
it's
gets
fine.
right into it. But myself, I don't know.
I just think like I'd rather play something I haven't done before and go, oh, sweet, that was interesting.
I would rather play Path of Exile.
Yeah. Well, I've got
Because-
that installed.
Yeah, I would rather play that than Diablo.
Man, I
And-
was wondering where you were last night.
Yeah.
I was saying, we're
I
going to play
was
some
just
games.
hanging out, and I was just like,
We could have played some games.
and I was just like, you know what, man? Nah, I'm just gonna chill today. I'm just
that was
living
the
up
one
the
time
holidays.
that we were going to be able to play
I
a
know.
game on a Friday night
Yep.
and you bailed.
And I was just like, I'm just living life, mate. Just,
All right, yeah, whatever.
just chilling out.
Because playing games with me online and getting people to watch us, that's not living life.
I don't know. I just this week I just went holiday mode. I finally relaxed, but I've been really tired too. I'm like, more exhausted than anything. Maybe because I finally have actually sat down and like done nothing, and I'm just like, holy crap!
Eating too much takeaway, mate.
Too much takeaway. Went to Versace like a pompous prick I
yeah.
am, and ate lots of food there too.
You did.
Ate lots
You
of fancy food.
Bloody rich boy over here.
Not even, mate.
Fraser
In
was-
the end, right?
Fraser was digging into you last night,
Yeah.
mate. He was like, oh, ritzy fucking Aaron with too
yeah.
much money goes to Versace.
Mate, in the end, didn't even need to pay.
Oh, what?
Father-in-law just went, don't worry, my
Whoa.
gift for you guys. Just pay for both of us. And he's like, you should have got the seafood on top because you got to pay another $20 for seafood on top.
Seafood shit, mate.
Seafood's
I mean, it's really
unreal.
good. It's good for you.
Yeah, it's delicious.
But
I grew up on that shit, man.
just-
That's what it
you
was.
know what the best food for you is?
What's that?
Mexican.
Mexican.
Beans. Eat all the beans you want.
Yeah, and
Don't
just
eat-
fart like Jordan.
Yeah,
mate. Just
don't
have the
eat-
dirty ass like him.
Hey, mate, don't eat meat. The beans didn't cause the hemorrhoids, mate.
No, they're pushing pooing.
What is this podcast?
I don't know. We're talking about asses and
That's right.
shit.
That's fine.
Yeah,
It doesn't even matter.
that's all good, man.
Let's move on.
Yeah, let's go. Don't forget, you can follow us at Facebook at No Objective Gaming, Twitch at No Objective Gaming AU, where we stream this live if you're listening to the podcast version. We're also on iTunes if you want to search for No Objective Gaming, where this
Yeah.
comes out once a week.
Or any good podcasting app, as I've
Yeah, we got
found out.
Stitcher and all those other ones that
I
just
use,
rebroadcast.
I'm listening to a Destiny podcast at the moment, and you can just search it. I'm using TuneIn Radio, which is like a really big internet radio app.
Yep.
But you can also search for podcasts through there.
And we're on there, are we?
Yep.
Sweet.
So if they're on there, we're on there
Yeah.
because they're smaller than
Exactly.
us. But yeah, so the Suppos caused it.
Yeah. Jordan's
Too many
energy
fucking
drinks.
Energy drinks, mate.
Mate. And you can also follow us at Twitter, No Objective Game. We got a Facebook, No Objective Gaming. And we've got an Instagram, No Objective Gaming. So,
And you should join the Discord.
yes, the
For those
Discord.
of you in chat who are not in Discord,
The
you
more
should join.
people, the merrier.
it's always going off.
It's good fun.
Speaking of which, Discord for the week
What's
goes
that?
to
Who's that?
your son.
My son. Oh,
Your son. He jumped in.
yeah.
He wanted to have a chat.
And just, blah.
Grabbed his mum's phone.
No,
Bloody
it's
legend.
actually, I walked in because I heard it go off. I'm like, what the hell's that? And I went into our bedroom and my wife's computer's in there.
Oh.
And he's sitting on the keyboard and he's just punching away or whatever.
Oh, hell yeah.
So that's what it was.
So he's won Discord of the week.
yeah.
And
with
when
his-
he's 20, we'll replay this episode to him and say,
yeah, you won, mate.
actually, when you were sitting on the keyboard and typing away when you were 1 year old.
His new favorite thing is bloody headphones now.
Oh yeah, I
Like,
saw that on the
he-
thing on the stream the other day.
So I found an old pair, the old Razer pair, the
The shitty ones.
the
Yeah.
StarCraft one. Yep. And now that's his. He can
Wait.
just walk around the house with it on his head, just being
No
like
worries.
mum and dad.
Yeah,
with
you
gaming
guys,
headsets
Yeah, you
on.
guys are always doing it, man.
Yeah.
No worries.
He just wants to be like us.
That's it.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's every week picking some mad dog to
Yep.
give a shout out on the on the chat for their contribution to our Discord.
Yep.
And it's Malachi
And it's
this
good.
week.
Good to be a part of it as
It
well.
is great.
Yeah. And we got a question this week from Chamal Liam in the question subject, little sub channel
Yeah,
in,
sub channel on Discord.
Discord. So you can put anything you want to ask us, and we'll speak about it on the show, I guess.
yeah.
And he said, since starting / converting to Twitch, where do you see your channel in a year time? And what do you see the future of Nog? Where are we going? I don't know. In a year's time, like a lot has changed in this 1 year we've been doing the podcast. We moved to Twitch and we started streaming games on Twitch every day, which is pretty good. And I don't know, I see the podcasts still being a thing, but I see like an IRL other thing happening in the future where it's just more us in the community. More
Yeah.
maybe something for everyone else on Twitch that aren't into listening to podcasts and aren't keen on listening to a structure of an hour and a half of us talking about video games. We could do a longer one where we just sit and hang out with our watchers and viewers or whatever. So
Yeah, and we can just have a few subjects to talk about,
Yeah.
but not necessarily about
like if we could do this full time, I could see it being a daily morning thing where we just talk
Yeah.
about things that happen every
I mean,
day in
But,
gaming.
No, there's no harm in being ambitious. We'd like all that stuff. Sounds awesome. We're just going along. We've got lots of new ideas. We're trying to like new shows and stuff that we're trying to come up with.
Yeah, we're always trying to make things better, but it's hard when we're working full time, I guess.
We just sacrifice a lot of our personal time to do this. So in a year's time, I reckon we'll still have the podcast. We'll have definitely trialed. We'll definitely have trialed some different shows. Hopefully, in a year's time, I'm still doing a tabletop stream
Yeah,
with Emily, and we'll have some new stuff on YouTube as well.
yeah,
And probably by then, we might move to a sub only IRL chat. So we just do something for subs and we just chill out. And we could even do rotating, basically like playing games with subs and
yeah. I would love to see the community streams get a bit bigger in that. Like I did, like when I did my Dark Souls 2 stream, the last one I did, I pulled in Viper and we just hung out for the whole stream and played games together. It was pretty good. Like I love the whole thing. Like getting to know each other. That's why we're doing this. We're getting to know all these other people around the world.
Not really interested in growing the channel if it means
Losing
just
interaction.
Getting, just getting followers for the sake of it or not communicating with you guys. It's pretty important to us that we have viewers. We don't need donations. We don't need money. We just want viewers.
Even though money helps us get better gear, if you want us to have a better quality of the show, I guess we can always go better.
Yeah.
But that's all the money's going to go towards is to streaming and getting our content looking better.
Yeah.
Like
so,
your money can go towards graphic art and stuff like that, and really pushing the
Exactly.
way we look and changing things and stuff like that. So, because at the moment it's me, like a guy that's never done anything graphical in his life. I didn't even do graphics at school, trying to pop things together and trying to make
Yeah.
things look okay. So, yeah,
But it's just all fiddling around. But
yeah,
I'd say a lot of new gameplay stuff.
yeah. I'd love to be definitely streaming more, and yeah, it's come a long way so far, hasn't it? Already.
Yeah.
Like it's definitely come far in the main, because we started streaming a long time ago, but we never were consistent.
No.
And we really started being consistent about 4 months ago. And the amount the channel has grown in 4 months is crazy, from us being consistent every day
Yeah.
and on being on time and having our set days. And I think I really want to work on the channel's artwork a bit more. I want to work on getting it looking better, like say under Twitch and stuff like that. That's what I want to do.
Zach reckons we're spending our money on Coke.
Yeah, on Coke. Yeah.
2 litre vanilla Coke, mate.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, that's what I want to kind of work on more, just looking more presentable and getting the streams up to a higher bit rate with better quality, I guess. Eh?
Yeah, no more. We can have our podcast being a bit flashier.
Yeah. And I guess we've got the audio there at a decent level where I like the audio quality is good.
Oh, yeah.
We've just got to work on our video content and the quality of that. So
Exactly.
yeah. And that all just takes time and money, I think. That's why we've been hanging on for so long. We're just like, we need better computers for this. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're getting them. So we're slowly getting them. Jordan got himself a new one, and mine's coming soon. So it'd be good. My little upgradey.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into the gaming news, even though there was not much.
Sweet
there.
FA.
Yeah.
This is a no objective gaming news update.
All right. So there wasn't much. It's very slow at the moment. Super slow.
Super slow.
Super slow. But anyway, PUBG this week passed 3 million concurrent players on Steam, that's crazy. Like I remember when they just clocked over Dota 2 and that was like 600,000 concurrent
Yeah.
players. This is This is the biggest game on Steam.
Oh, yeah. You have no trouble finding games. You have trouble getting into the game.
Yeah, because the servers are so damn full. And
Oh, yep. Zach said the graphics and shit actually look good.
oh, thanks, mate. That's just me just dicking around in Photoshop.
We're we're definitely trying to improve that. It's more that we want to play videos, like
Yeah,
we
because
wanna-
at the moment we can't really like we're streaming all this off of like a tiny TravelMate laptop,
yeah.
so it's not the highest power, but we will get there. We'll get this computer next week and bring
Oh,
Jordan's one along. So
You're in the desktop publishing industry,
wow, that's sweet.
dude.
The real Zach is the real Zach, mate.
He is the real.
Yeah,
So, yeah, PUBG's
it's massive.
blowing up.
It's crazy, and I can't believe like in a couple of days they sold 1 million copies on Xbox, even though it's running bad.
Even though it's a pile of shit.
Yeah, it's so
People
bad.
still wanted it. People are not willing to put that money into a computer to actually play the proper version of
Yeah.
the game.
I don't know. It might get there eventually, but anyway, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
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 All right, this week, Diablo, mate. Diablo 3 brought back the good old Darkening of Tristram event. I had a go of it yesterday. It plays exactly like Diablo 1. So you play Diablo 1 inside Diablo 3, and they made it all grainy. You can only move the same kind of way
Yeah,
the
it's
old
like
characters.
eight directions.
Yeah, like you got your diagonals, your up downs, and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. It's really good, but it is Diablo 1, where you just go down floors.
Is it? Do you get to play your character
Yeah,
or
you play the character you've created in that world.
in Diablo 1 or?
No, in Diablo 3. So the character
Oh.
that you've created in Diablo 3, you just go through a portal and it just goes back to this grainy look.
Oh.
And you walk down and they want to move like this, and it's even got the low frames.
Is it
where-
1080p?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah. It's kind of cool when you first walk in, but then when you just keep going down and down. So like we got to the butcher. So we killed the butcher, then we went down the Skeleton King, and then when you go down further.
I never played that game co-op.
You never played it co-op?
No, that'd actually be really fun.
So I want to do it where I start a brand new character and then go out in the Tristram and then jump through that portal.
Well, that's what. Oh, it's so. Like,
Instead of having like our Paragon level, whatever, hundreds and somethings, like I would rather just jump in and start from level 1
yeah,
and
I'll
go down.
try and run the game with a D3 character for
Yeah.
level 1.
I think that'd be sick.
Dude, like I love Diablo 1.
Yeah.
I finished that game at least 3 times.
Well, if you want, we can try and slot it in tomorrow. If you want to do like a little something stream.
Depends on what I'm doing tomorrow.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yep.
Friday nights are my time, man.
Yeah,
and
Friday
you're
nights
never
your
there.
time. Nah.
You're not there. You bailed on
Friday
me.
nights are my
You
chill.
bailed on me. Okay?
You're like, so
you
we're
said
gaming tonight. He was
you
like,
said last week you're keen
Yeah.
for next Friday,
I know.
and then you bailed.
and then you're like, so we're gaming? I'm like,
No.
nah. I'm
So,
having too much of a good time.
If anyone
just
wants to
chilling.
know why we might not be doing the Diablo 1 playthrough, it's Aaron's fault.
Yeah, it's my fault.
There you go.
It's always my fault.
It is.
Anyway, the CEO of PUBG said this week they aim to put PUBG on every single gaming platform.
Yeah, I heard that PS4 is
It's on the way. That's the next
Yeah.
one on the books. I don't know if Switch will get it,
yeah,
but
ooh.
because they're putting PUBG on phones. It's coming to a mobile phone in China.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So they could be putting that one on the Switch. Who knows?
Fuck, that's so shit.
I know. But they're Korean that make this. So fair enough. They go, well, China's a massive market. Let's chuck it on
Yeah.
a phone over there for them. It makes sense,
So weird.
I reckon. We can have a look at this, right? This is PlayStation released all the downloaded games and they put all the top 5s together of every game that got downloaded on the PSN network this year. I started having a look and I was just like, what? Why is that number 1? But anyway, let's have a look at it. Let's jump over and have a
Yeah,
look.
here we go.
All right. So we got the PS4 games. Number 1 was Call of Duty World War II.
Oh yeah.
What? And Destiny 2 is number 2. And then Friday the 13th, the game. Why is that up there? And then you got Horizon Zero Dawn. Grand Theft Auto 5 is still getting downloaded. This is only for 2017, by
I
the
think
way.
Grand
as
Theft
well.
Auto 5 is the only one in that lot. I guess Horizon.
Horizon
yeah.
should be, yeah. But then we got NBA 2K18, Rocket League, fair enough. Minecraft PS4 edition, Madden NFL 18, and Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands.
It almost seems like it's just here's some really popular games for our console.
But
Yeah.
this is like, yeah, and they're the ones, maybe they're on the front screen, like when you go to the store.
Yeah, but they're expensive as fuck. Those AAA titles that come out on digital sales, they are expensive.
Oh, they're more expensive than going to the shop and picking them up.
Go
half
to
time.
the store and save like at least $30. At least.
It's crazy.
It's weird. Like, I don't get that.
We talked about it on our digital versus physical episode, however long ago that
I
was.
think it might have been like episode 5 or something. So you go back and listen to our shitty.
Don't go back and listen to that one.
Yeah.
We were sitting on deck, little camping chairs.
Freaky camping chairs. Oh, there you go.
And there was, I think there was kids screaming outside, and
Yeah.
Jordan ended up sitting down on the floor at the end of that
My
one.
back was so sore.
we didn't have a video version back then,
That
so
was
it was
when
only audio.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was kind of cool. PS Vita games. Who really cares about these? But
God of War
Salt
collection makes
Sanctuary,
sense.
that's another one that was in there. And
Oh,
Persona 4
Salty
Yeah,
Sanctuary.
Salty Sanctuary. And you know what? Someone asked me that I should play that game after I finished the Dark Souls series because it's Dark Souls-esque. It's
Star
hard.
Wars Battlefront 2. Now, I wonder if that's new Battlefront 2.
I think it's the old one
Yeah.
for the PlayStation digital download.
Dude, that's so good that it's in there.
Yeah, Persona 4 Golden, I contributed to that because I bought that this year on the Vita. So
You saved a lot of money buying digital games this year, Big Popper.
I do when I buy on Steam. Like I
Yeah.
saved a lot of money when I bought the the games at the beginning of the year. You know how
Yeah.
I got Resident Evil Biohazard. I got that.
Oh,
for
yeah, it's
super
different,
cheap.
but Big Popper's playing on Xbox.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering what you bought.
Maybe the American store is better than the Australian store.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. I think they go, well, this is what Australians should be playing for games, but we're not.
Scooby said, I heard Salty Sanctuary is really good.
Yeah.
That's right. It's the Salty Sanctuary.
The Salty
mate.
Sanctuary.
Not Salt and Sanctuary.
And we got the God of War collection on the PS Vita.
Yeah,
that was sold really well.
That'd be good.
But no one really cares about that. And the PSVR, Job Simulator, and like Super Hot VR.
Super Hot's a great game.
Yeah, apparently that's Unreal in that. And you got Skyrim, Elder Scrolls. That was in there. That's top sales for the VR games.
Mhm.
But mind you, this is only for the PSN. This isn't physical copies sold. This is only
No.
digital. So take that in mind. Maybe there's a lot of Call of Duty players out there that don't like buying physical games. But I don't know. I wouldn't buy that game. No way. I've had enough of that.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
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 All right.
Scuba doesn't play it anymore, I don't think.
No, you wouldn't. It's just like Destiny. You play it, you finish it, and you're done. Like you never go
It
back
was like
to
a
it.
5-hour campaign, wasn't it? It was a really short campaign.
That's garbage. See,
Like Battlefront 2 was short, but at least they're giving out free DLC for that game.
yeah, I don't think. Oh, they're both Activision, aren't they? No, our Activision, EA. Fair enough.
So Big Papa said, I got Destiny 2 Digital Deluxe Edition for $30 off on launch, and Assassin's Creed Origins a few months after it came out for $25 off.
Dude, that's amazing.
But 25, how much was it in total? 30 off and 25 off. What did that leave the total to?
It would have been around $50. I reckon maybe $40.
Hmm.
What's the standard going price in America? I think $60 a game, isn't it?
Yeah.
So maybe it would have been less than that, maybe.
Well, yeah, so I wonder what the digital, but it means like digital deluxe edition, $30 off.
Mm.
It wouldn't have been $30. Digital
No.
deluxe edition was probably about
Probably 100.
yeah.
Yeah.
But this is the thing, like we recommend not doing that, right? Because of the resale value.
That
If you want to move a game on,
yeah.
or you want to collect a game, you get the hard copy edition. Obviously, it depends on what like if you're buying a game because you want to play it and it's cheap. Like I bought
Yeah.
the Witcher 3 Game of the Year edition off.
And this is what always tears me apart
Yeah.
from PC gaming, where I don't actually get to hold this game. I really enjoy it. Like when I bought Mass Effect, I bought it physical, but then I opened up that box and all there was a code. There wasn't even a disc. There was nothing, no booklet. All it had was a slip of paper about this big,
I don't
and
know,
it said code.
But that's what I know that going in.
Far out. So the Destiny 2 Digital Deluxe Edition was $110.
See, that's expensive, man. Assassin's Creed was $65. Okay.
Yeah. On here, Konami announced all the pre-order bonuses for Metal Gear Survive. We'll have a look at them, I guess.
This is going to be really bad.
I think it's gonna be horrible, dude. I just don't. And like, so you're gonna be having 4 gold plate weapons. So plated weapons. Like, I don't know why you want gold plated weapons. This is like pre-order bonuses. 2 additional gestures.
Oh, thank goodness.
Or you get some happy thumbs up and you like, I don't know. It just nah. 4 metallic survival scars. What are this game looks like it's going to be complete garbage.
Kabuki face paint, Boxman.
The Kabuki
orange.
face paint's cool because that's from Metal Gear Solid 3.
Oh,
You
yeah.
find that? That's a face paint that Big Boss wears.
Mother base nameplate.
I reckon this is going to get bad reviews.
Yeah.
This looks garbage.
It looks like a cash grab.
They're using the engine Hideo Kojima worked his ass off to make
For a
this
cash grab.
for this co-op zombie survival type base game. I reckon it's going to be bad.
Yep. Yeah, man. I don't know. I'm not keen on this. I'm not going to buy this on release at all. And I probably won't buy it unless it turns out to be a hit.
I think it's going to be more like Metal Gear Online, and you've just got little games you can play in there.
Yeah, it's good.
You create your character, and then good on you. Just run around in this multiplayer world. It better be... Well, look at the prices are here for retailers in America. So $40 American. So it's a cheap game, man. I reckon it's going to be $60 on launch here. It's going to be more of an expansion than anything.
I'm not.
I'm not buying it. No way in hell am I
Nah.
going to feed Konami their bullshit games. You know what I mean? So it looks just crap. But anyway,
Yeah.
let's move on. Monster Hunter World is having another open beta, and this time I want to give it a better shot.
All right.
Because last time I jumped in, I hated the 20-minute timer. That's all you got, 20 minutes.
You couldn't go back in?
You can go back in, but you start again from the beginning.
Oh.
So it's kind of like if you don't beat that boss and that timer, it's just shut down. Game over. You go back to the main menu. But apparently that was only the beta feature. So I hope this open beta has taken the 20-minute threshold out and you can explore the world because the world looked awesome.
Well, I
There's
figure
so
that-
many more bosses in there.
To find bugs and help them bug report.
Yeah, why
Like,
would you give me 20 minutes?
Yeah, like you need more time.
Because we found this other boss was super hard, Scuba and I did, and we just went, we can't even beat this. Because the timer, it would take longer than the 20 minutes to beat this boss. So that's the bad thing about it, and that's why I got pissed off. I did the
Okay.
3 campaigns, finished, done. And they also announced that there's going to be free DLC from when it comes out.
Oh.
That's it, done.
Adding monsters. You can say
Adding-
free
yeah.
DLC all you like, but
It's
if you're not talking about like adding
story content.
story
yeah.
like massive content for free, you're just adding monsters to the game. Just stop using that word. You're patching the game.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's sort of in between a patch and DLC.
Because it's a new thing getting added to
Yeah,
the world.
like Diablo would patch things into their game.
They wouldn't call it a DLC.
Yeah.
It'd be a patch. And
That's
they
right.
patch things in there all the time. Look, the event that's running right now, that's just a patch.
Yeah, and Overwatch does it. Add new heroes.
Yeah.
It's just another patch. Stop calling it DLC.
It's not. Get over it. Yeah, I don't know. At Monster Hunter, I just don't know. And they also announced this week that Monster Hunter World is going to be released on PC this fall.
Okay.
So it's not going to be on release, but they're working on it now.
Right. Yeah.
That's I don't know. I'm still skeptical on that game after playing that first beta. I went, I don't know. But maybe I haven't touched it before. This one here goes out to Jordan, this next piece of news.
Fuck yeah.
2005 is the original Battlefront 2, man, right? Got a patch this week, man. Got a friggin' patch. And they said it came from Disney somewhere. No one knows what part of Disney did it.
Stop calling it Disney.
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 But anyway, Disney.
People are going to get triggered.
Yeah.
People
Anyway.
being me.
That's only you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, they've improved the lobby function. So you can actually see the Steam usernames now on there, and you can also see the ping of your player in the world. See if you got high enough ping or low enough ping, whatever it is. And they've also improved like some bugs, and they optimize the game. So I don't know if they're trying to push this again because people hate
I think
Battlefront 2.
I think there's like they know that the memes are heading towards people saying that like Battlefront 2 is actually a good game, and they're like, well, we may as well like capitalize on this and get people playing at least something to do with Star Wars, because we just released a movie. You know, we're doing all this stuff with Star Wars, so why not? We already have this game.
Yeah, exactly.
It's already good. Like, it's old. 2005 is a long time ago, but like, you can still play it. It's still fun.
Yeah.
The campaign's good. The multiplayer's good.
Exactly. I'm feeling you, dude.
The real Zach, he just fucking got you good.
Yeah, and
Disney.
the winner is Disney.
Disney.
Yeah. Anyway, Scuba, I'm feeling you, dude. I am. I wanted to explore when we were running around. We wanted to go and explore everything and grab items off of enemies because you can make like armor and weapons from killing monsters in that game, but we couldn't even get to the point of killing the monster and then crafting the item that you could make from his body parts or whatever. I don't know. That's why I wasn't feeling it. But apparently that was only the beta, the 20-minute threshold. Apparently it was more of like a showroom floor demo where they show it like conventions. That's what it felt like. I don't know. I'm keen for the Battlefront 2, but I don't know. I'm just not into those games, man. It looks cool that they've done another patch for it. But
any support for old games is always cool, like in spirit. But you know, just play it if you want.
yeah,
I haven't touched it, and I like the game
yeah, you played it heaps.
too much.
If anyone was around back when we did the Nintendo Switch kind of, we did an episode on the Nintendo Switch system type of thing when they did their press conference, and we're sitting there going, "This is garbage. This looks bad. It's gonna be a crap console, right?" Well, we were so wrong, dude. Nintendo Switch is now the fastest selling home console system in the USA.
Wow.
The fastest selling.
4.8 million units in 10 months.
How crazy is that? And they've beat the Wii sales in America.
Oh, and that was the fastest before that.
Yeah. Because I think the Wii is I think they're not the second, but they're around the fourth best selling console ever.
Okay. PS2, Nintendo DS.
Yeah. And I don't know what the other ones are. It might be Wii after that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because it triggers that family audience, and a family is going to buy the system.
Yeah.
Because they've sold over 10 million throughout the world so far. But 4.8 just in America.
Yeah.
In 10 months. That's huge. That's a lot of sales. We could never crack that sales. I don't think we've got 4.8 million gamers in Australia.
Oh, actually, I don't know.
Because we've got 22 million people in our country.
Whether or not they would... Nah, yeah. I don't
there's
know.
not many. There's probably a lot of old people that are dying in homes, just festering away. Yeah. Ones that have lost their mind and all they are is just vegetables.
To do with anything?
They're not playing games. That's what it's got
All
to do
right,
with it.
then. You fucking weird psychopath.
Yeah. Well, Mad Cats, right? You remember how we talked about it last week?
They went fucking shitey.
They went shite. They went gone. We'll talk about this next piece of news up above. I just missed it. Where they declared bankruptcy, right?
Yeah.
But some Chinese company, no one knows. It's like they've unnamed Chinese holding company basically purchased all their stuff when they went bankrupt. But they've announced they're going to be showcasing the new keyboards and mice at CES, and that's coming out in I think it's 2 weeks. I think CES starts, and I'm keen to see what they got because I've got the Rat MMO mouse from Mad Cats, and holy crap, the customization you can do with that mouse, it's insane.
That fucking mouse is a joke.
It's crazy. It's got the weights. It's got like, I'm so gutted. I threw the box away, right? because it has all like had 3 or 4 different thumb pads you could put on, side pads, back pads,
oh, what?
everything.
You threw all that away?
I didn't know because I saw a box and we're moving house and I was like, oh, I think this box. Why am I keeping boxes?
Open the box, Aaron.
Just threw it because I knew because I have so many MC boxes because I keep all my console boxes and I'm like, nah, just chuck it because I'm like, why did it even keep a mouse box? And then it had everything in it. So it's all good, but I customized it for my hands. So
for
my little pudgy hands. So I don't know. We'll see what they got. It'd be cool if they release some more keyboards, some cool ones like their Striker series. But the only reason I didn't buy their Striker series is because I'm not paying $370 for a keyboard, man. Like it was insane.
Zach, yeah, I'm concerned. Mad Catz was never top tier.
It wasn't, but they tried to go.
Yeah, they had a few things.
They had a few things that were well and truly overpriced. Like they had the first keyboard that had a screen on it, a touch screen active panel, so you could actually touch things on the screen. Because then Razer bought their version out that had the touch screen next to the keyboard. So they're pretty good. Yeah.
That's right.
Cat shit.
Not dog shit.
Back in PS2 era, I had a Mad Catz bloody controller, and that sucked.
Yeah,
they were
bad.
real bad.
That was cheapo, like
yeah,
replacements, and you just
went,
get away from that.
Yeah. So I don't know. See what they got. They might be alright. Anyway, this Battlegrounds modes crap is pissing me off, right?
Battle Royale mode.
It's killing me, man. Hey, every game is doing it. It's triggering me, man.
I saw this.
This week, Paladins released their version. It's in beta at the moment, but it's a 100-player battleground mode, and players just drop in the world, but they freeze zones. So zones freeze over, and you can jump on your mount, and you got to get out of the zones before they freeze over. That's how they've kind of shrinking the game into certain areas. It's free, like Paladins, but it's the first ever hero mode version. So everyone's got their own heroes. So it'd be cool to do squads, because you can have synergy between characters in a squad.
Yeah, but the solo version of that would be garbage.
It would be so hard. I don't even know if they would have a solo, but they said it's 100 players, so there would definitely be a solo mode. There'd be one player that would be meta, and you'd just play that.
Well, the only way you could do it is to play DPS that has some form of self-healing. That game has a lot of intricacy that Overwatch doesn't have. It's just not as good. The gameplay isn't as good. So they have like a card system where you can like slightly manipulate your character's stats through cards to optimize them for your play style. But that's what Overwatch doesn't have. All the characters are they're balanced, and everyone plays the same character with the same stats. Whereas Paladins, you can pick the same character, but they might have a different card.
That's where the microtransactions come into play.
Yeah, which you don't have to do. You can just play the game and unlock them, which I did for the cards that I wanted, and
fair enough. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to play it.
Yeah.
I'm done. I downloaded Paladins, and you know what? I just actually deleted off my machine the other day. I was like, I'm done.
Fair enough.
Never going to play this again.
I think I did that ages ago.
Yeah.
Ace Platinum, what's up, dude? How does Aaron look like without a hat on?
You don't want to see me without a hat. I look like a grub.
You put the hat on to cover the... Once you put a hat on, you can't take it off because your hair...
because then your hair turns into hat mess.
I'm not wearing a hat.
You aren't. You've got shaved head.
Yeah, well, it did. Now it's just...
It's a bushy.
Yeah, Zach's right. There's an afro under there somewhere.
Yeah. Man, did you know when I was younger, I had full-on curly hair, like ringlets, right? I don't know what happened in my older age. My hair just turned to shit.
Yeah.
Right? But man, I could go like this in my hair, and it full-on went fro. Whoa. And I used to even ask Scuba, I think we did it back in the days when he was playing the band, just like scruff my hair up, and it was just this round, perfect afro. Like,
what the
man.
fucking hell, dude?
Unreal. My hair is
Sketty
just
fro.
crap. Yeah, sketty fro.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess it's like Kyle from like South Park. He takes his little hat off and says, yeah. So, some guy, I don't even know what Japanese company made this, but someone in Japan found this awesome hands-free device for your Nintendo Switch. I don't know. Could it become like a gaming principle for these games? Like, you know how they got those things you must buy. Have a look at this. I would even chuck it on stream for everyone. Look at this. You wrap it around your neck, mate.
Oh.
That's it.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And you get to play your Nintendo Switch just anywhere. You don't need to hold it. You can use the controller. Have that on the bus. Walk around the shopping center.
Almost looks like it's made for the Wii U. Because that controller looks... Is that the Pro controller?
Yeah, the Pro controllers look unreal, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you're going to get a Switch, you're probably going to want to get a bloody Pro controller. But you got to fork out another $80 for that, man.
Ace Platinum wants to know what we like most out of McDonald's, Hungry Jack's or KFC. Hungry Jack's, mate, because that's
Hungry
the only
Jack's.
place I can go
Yeah.
of those.
I like McDonald's, man, and KFC, but I kind of like KFC more because I don't know. They got rough burgers sometimes, man. They just got delicious burgers.
KFC burgers were good.
Yeah, and the KFC chips were always good. Yeah, that's right. We used to do a band practice. That's right, Scuba. I don't know. I would never buy that. I would feel like an absolute gibbon walking around that thing.
No, if you did, I would hit you.
Well,
Oh,
an Australian Etsy retailer
I like this one.
just announced a new dildo. And you know what they called it? They called it Pokemon. Let's check out this, mate.
Pokemon, show us the dildo.
Pokemon, all right? We'll chuck this up on stream as well.
Oi, get that up your bottom.
You've got to catch them all.
Got to get them all.
Get them all.
Oh, yeah, they couldn't use that.
Yeah.
Favorite soft drink, mate, dude. I reckon SARS, maybe.
SARS,
or ginger beer.
You rough man, you.
SARS or ginger beer.
Ginger beer all the way, man. Sarsaparilla is just dirt, mate.
You're
I can't
fucking dog.
stand it, man. It's yuck.
You're yuck.
It's yuck.
You're yuck.
No, it's gross, man. But yeah, anyway, I think Jordan wants the nice Pikachu one right there.
Oh, is that one
Yeah,
there?
that's
I didn't even see
Yeah,
that.
you got the Pikachu one.
Oh,
mate.
you shoved up your ass
Yeah,
and then it
yeah,
pops a little
Yeah,
tail
yeah,
out.
Like you got your little lightning tail.
Oh, it's a butt plug.
Yeah, look at that. And you could look at the Bulbasaur, mate.
Bulbasaur has like little balls.
Yeah. Because it
Oh.
is. It's got some bulbs down the bottom. That
Dude.
fiery one looks a bit rough, though,
Oh,
eh? Rough
just-
around the edges.
Ugh.
Mate, I don't know about the Squirtle one, though. It's a bit of a Squirtle.
Squirt.
Oh.
Squirt.
Yeah,
Ah,
done.
Fuck.
Oh, the real Sat's like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
Yeah, that would be rough.
Yeah, that'll be
Oof.
rough on your buttocks.
On your buttocks.
This week, Intel reported they had a massive security hole in all Intel processors made within the last decade, right? And basically, they found out that people can actually get into the cache data on your CPU and they can gather anything, all your personal information and passwords that are stored in that cache at that current time. This has been crazy and they just gone, well, we have to fix this. And it kind of sucks that they're going to fix it this way, but they have to do it through the operating system. And the operating system is going to do a cache dump and it's going to make everyone's CPU performance drop by 5 to 30% depending on the generation of your CPU.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, this is a huge hit to Intel because Intel were always the fastest. But now they've got this 5 to 30% decrease of their CPU.
mate.
It could make AMD better.
Switch over to AMD now.
Yeah.
That's
This is pretty rough.
a performance drop, but significant enough.
Yeah, and I reckon because I'm around Gen 2, I'm old, man.
Yeah.
That 30% is probably going to hit me. And
Oh,
it
I
depends
see,
on
yeah.
it depends on the generation and also depends on how often they need to do a cache dump. So it must depend on how much information is going to your CPU for it to dump the cache.
God damn.
Yeah. That was the last piece of news. I put that right at the end because that's going to hit a lot of people that are PC gamers.
Yeah, like us
Yeah.
plebs, mate.
And especially if you're doing streaming on PC, this extra 30% on your CPU load is going to crumble when you're streaming that bit rate. So, and it's crazy. I can't believe they didn't miss this over a whole decade. They didn't know until some smartass just went, oh, holy crap. I can figure this out. But you know what? It could have been found out by the NSA a long time ago and they
Yeah.
covered it up, just like the WannaCry virus that came out, the ransomware. That was covered up, that security hole was covered up by the NSA and they had it there because they knew they needed an easy way to get into people's machines. Soon as someone hacked the NSA, got that data, bang, hit like hundreds of thousands of companies overnight in one night and ransomwared every single person.
Yeah.
It was crazy. It was one of the actually.
Bullshit.
I came into work on the Monday and we're like, we didn't get hit, and the boss was like, nah. And then we're just reading through forums and everyone's got hit for this.
Big
fraud.
Papa Sin says something interesting. Isn't the Intel CEO in trouble because he sold a lot of stock to someone right before the data breach? Wow.
Nice.
Insider trading.
Yeah, it
Man, you
could
gotta be
be.
careful of that shit. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know. If that's true, like that's just more evidence
I
of
wouldn't
like
be surprised.
Yeah.
Someone would have known this and
And
went,
it's
we'll just
more evidence of the fucking like scam artist
yeah.
bullshit that happens
Um,
in the stock market.
I'm really happy Australian security, digital security changed at the 1st of July, like 1st of January this year.
Yeah.
Because beforehand, no Australian company needed to tell anyone about a data breach from their company in Australia up until this point now.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, so everyone could get away. If you had a data breach on your server or your website, you can just cover it up and no one would know. But they've finally changed the laws in Australia now. So
Yeah.
finally done it. Which is about time because we need to catch up. Because we got done at work and it was crazy. Insider trading.
Intel inside trading. That's
Yep.
right.
Dude, that's unreal. You should make a meme with that on it. That'd be great. But anyway, that's enough of the news. Let's get into this main topic. This board games. What do you reckon?
Board games.
How many people in chat play board games? Who got into them for an extended amount of time?
The more like, I think it's not like Monopoly. I guess if you play Monopoly, like, that's kind of cool. But
Yeah, but we're
But,
talking
we're
more like the
talking-
Fantasy Flight games.
yeah,
the-
we're talking the more epic. Sit down for an hour,
Oh.
an hour and
Sit down for 6 hours and read the bloody
rule book.
rule book. That's what I was talking
Yeah.
about. The
We're not
40-page rule
talking
book.
about fucking Trivial Pursuit. We're not talking about Operation.
Yeah.
We're talking about real board games.
Yeah.
So, what sort of board games do you play, my man?
Me? Well, I remember. I still remember that first time when I'm like, I'm going to get into board games type of thing. And I think you were there that day as well. Went out. We went to Supernova. And I bought that Game of Thrones, the card game.
Oh yeah.
And that was it. I remember. And then I opened that rule book and I went, it's not happening today. We're not knowing how to play this game today. I'm putting it away. And I went through like some guy made a 7-part tutorial on how to play it on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I read that whole thing and I still kind of didn't get it.
Yeah. There's a few things that are like difficult.
Yeah.
I honestly think like there are some. There's got to be a better way. He's made that meme. Nice.
Meme already done. Star Wars Family Feud. Yeah, feud.
Fluid.
Flu Rider.
Star Wars Family Feud. It doesn't really count as a board game, but not the way we're talking about.
No.
But it's still it's a good game.
But I don't know. And then that kind of triggered it because I remember you started looking through the Fantasy Flight thing and you're like, oh man, there's Star Wars, the card game.
Yeah, and then I was like, I've got my old Star Wars card
Yeah.
game, and then you guys were like, let's play fucking Magic.
Yeah, that's right. And we started getting to MTG and
Yeah. Scuba's
don't know.
favorite.
yeah. But Scuba got into it way before we did. He's been doing that for at least almost a decade, I'm pretty sure.
Emily said that's when you said trying to learn that was worse than school.
Yeah.
So, was that where you were there? I think you said, yeah, was that back at Tingalpa?
Yeah.
You'd rather not.
No, it was so hard. Like, I was just sitting there going, I don't know if I think I only played a few games with my mum. That's all I played of that that Game of Thrones game. And I'm
It's
still going,
tough.
oh, I think we're meant to do this. Do you remember when we tried to play that zombie game with Ollie that one time? And he was the only one that read the rule book and he's just like, oh, we'll just make it this. Just make it, we can do
That's
this.
right,
And,
yeah,
and you were like, no, what's the rules? And you're getting so triggered. You're getting so off it,
Oh
dude.
man, because I'm like, you got to know. I want to be proficient at the game to make sure, it's not this or that. Yeah, Big
That's
Papa.
true. It's like that. Like I remember when I started buying a few, it's like, who am I going to play this with?
Yeah,
I have to wait until I catch up with Jordan to play this game, but then I have to explain the rules to him for an hour
which
before we can go, or
yeah.
do a blind
Or-
an open card.
or you can just put a game in a console and just play that.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. So you're like, that's why I was saying that they're making a resurgence, because it seems like people have more time for like social gaming now.
Well, they've taken the on the couch co-op out. It's going.
of console gaming.
It's disappearing. So, like for example, Halo 5 didn't have it at all.
Yeah.
That feature doesn't exist, which
It's,
is so sad.
it's dumb.
Like we grew up playing on the couch co-op games because we didn't have internet.
And now board games are sort of filling that
Filling the gap.
that slot. They just fill my slot
Filling all that
with
slot.
a Pokemon dildo.
Pokemon.
Pokemon. Like they actually get like games like Lord of the Rings. So we've played Lord of the Rings LCG. We haven't played in a while, but we played a lot.
That's probably the most of any board game we've played.
Yeah.
Except for you in Star Wars, the card game, when you used to go
I've
do
played
comps.
I've played a lot of X-Wing,
and
Armada,
Yeah.
and Destiny, and Imperial Assault, all Star Wars games.
Yeah.
I played a lot of them, but the co-op game like that we've played, which is what we're sort of talking about just for this moment,
Yeah.
is Lord of the Rings. Like that's our fix of all of us sitting down together get your fucking can of suppo, mate.
Okay.
Get you go down to Woolies and get a few snacks.
Yeah, used to get your ginger nuts, mate.
Yeah. Oh, ginger nuts. That's right. Oh, you'd love that. Get the ginger nuts happening.
Yeah.
And then you just chill out, sit there, and it's it's a slog. You could do like 3 campaigns, but that'd take you like 6 hours. Usually you do one campaign, not campaign, but like one scenario in the Lord of the Rings LCG, and that's a good like 2 hours. But it's a fun 2 hours, and you work together, you talk shit, and it's like you're playing a co-op game.
Yeah.
They're fantastic games.
It was great, and I'm so happy it's coming out digitally now.
Yeah.
It's gonna be way better. I don't know. I like board games, but I think the internet works way better than board games.
We do have to
yeah.
like this is the overarching point of I think my concern with like digitizing all of this stuff is that we do have to be worried about like being too antisocial because of the internet. It does create
It's a
like,
different form of social, but I think you're still talking to people. You're just not talking in the flesh.
yeah, and there's something our brains are not wired to understand that in the same way that me talking across from you like we are now
Yeah.
does. And me talking to people who are just talking through text in our Twitch chat. Our brains are not set up for that, and we don't understand the long-term effects. We've just sort of gone straight in.
Yeah.
We've just gone, oh, this looks good. This seems like it'll work. We can talk over it through text. Yeah, let's just do that. Think of all the times that miscommunication and stuff like that has happened.
You can't get
because
sarcasm across text.
No, and facial expressions and all that
Yeah.
stuff. Our brains are wired for understanding those things, and we don't get that.
Yeah.
And so tabletop is sort of like a comeback for sitting around. Like people sit around
And
have
a lot of
have
antisocial
beers,
people
have
play
drinks.
board games.
Yeah.
Like if you go to Pokemon comps, there's a lot of antisocial people there.
Emily just said, places like Netherworld help make it a social thing that you might actually go out for.
Maybe.
And Emily speaks to the large portion of our audience that refuses to leave the house, which is me.
Yeah. I've been to the other one before. We went to Manor Bar. We went to there.
Oh, that's
And
nowhere near
as good as Netherworld.
man.
Netherworld just stepped it up. They've gone full America. Like America's had these for ages, and I've always been like, far out. I wish we had something like this. Well, but like America has a lot of arcadey like places like that where it's a bar, but they've got arcade machines, pinball machines, and they're more catered towards the 80s audience. Where Netherworld's catered to the 90s audience, like us, our younger generation.
Netherworld's good,
So-
man. Good food
Yeah,
and
craft beers, mate,
tables.
if people are into craft beers.
craft beers.
Yeah, craft beers.
Craft beers. Do they have a whiskey bar?
Yeah, the whiskey
Do they have
bar.
a whiskey bar?
I went to a whiskey bar in Japan.
A whiskey bar.
Yeah.
And it really like honestly there's a huge market for that simply because of the social nature. You can combine things you like video games,
Yeah.
so just broad, doing something while you're being social. This is what I've craved for a long time. Like, we don't. How often are you and I going? Let's go out for brunch, mate. Let's go out for a little. Let's go. Do you want?
We're more like, let's go pick up a pizza, a Hawaiian pizza.
Yeah, but you and I live together.
Yeah.
So instead, and then we'd come home. We're like, do you want to watch some fucking Sopranos?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then now it's okay, but we were doing something sort of it's almost background to like sort of get like your mind going,
Yeah.
and then you talk shit. So when I go to Ollie's place as well, it's always like, hey man, let's play some co-op games, and we'll just talk shit. We'll just talk about whatever's on our mind.
Yeah.
And that I think is a growing thing that people want to do, even in a social setting like out in Netherworld.
Yeah.
And yeah, Scuba's keen as well. He was talking to us before, and he wants to go, and we should go there and maybe take some card games down or board games and go get some sweet food and
Do an RL stream
Yeah,
while we
yeah.
walk around the street with a selfie pole.
you could do that. You could just Emily's got a phone tripod.
Oh yeah, you can use that. And
You
can
could
use
just put that on and you show the card game you're
And then when
playing.
we're going to get food, we'll put the selfie pole out and just walk around and be like, "Hey, what's up, man?"
Oh god, that's so cringy.
Oh, it is. It
So-
is. But
so-
I'm pretty sure people might want to watch us cruise around.
Sometimes they do. What else have we got on our list of things we want to talk about regarding?
I don't know why I found this, but this is out of the blue, mate. This is a bloody 2-cent Australian coin.
Oi, 2 cents,
2
mate.
cents.
There you go. Where the bloody hell was that?
That's just underneath my ass, mate.
Oh. Is there a
1981.
Pokemon dildo under there as
Yeah,
well?
I don't know. Maybe. It's amazing what you can find inside your ass. Ancient. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. And then I got right into the Dungeons and Dragons game, the miniatures based game. That was
that's right.
really fun.
Yeah, that's a good game. It's another co-op game.
It's a co-op game, and it's all randomized with tiles. So you flick a tile out just when you get to the edge of the tile.
Those ones are the best type. Not necessarily like that tiles or whatever, but they're good because the randomization makes the game unique every time.
Yeah, and you verse the cards. So the deck of cards as well is where you draw the enemy from.
Exactly. So that's what we were doing. That's what we were doing from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
we were just having
you
a
verse the
blast.
deck. Yeah, and
it's-
you don't know. You don't know what's coming. You're like, oh crap, man.
It's weird how
there's
fun
another
it is.
treachery. Oh,
And people like,
Yeah.
and I think if you don't play those games, you don't understand that once you immerse yourself and how good those artists are, how good the designers are to make it immersive.
and to make it balanced, holy crap! How
And-
do they do that from randomizing cards? Like,
You wouldn't think that would be fun, right? Versing a stack of cardboard. But every time you flip something over and you're like, oh, I've got a thing for that. I've got a treachery counter.
yeah.
I've got one in my hand. You're like, boom.
And building them decks in Lord of the Rings, holy crap! How good was
It's-
that? Like
it's
once
fun.
I finally got my dwarf deck.
Yeah. It's
Raping, man.
It's so customizable. And like Scuba can speak to more of the MTG side of it and how competitive
That game's out of control.
that game can be.
They've got comps just for drafts.
And massive prize pools just for Friday Night Magic and stuff like that. Like, you know, you can win heaps of stuff.
Down the road, down here, the Meadowbrook MTG nights are massive. They're in this huge warehouse, right? And they pull like 60 people every Friday.
Yep.
And they go nuts.
Yep.
It's crazy.
It's insane. It's a massively successful game.
and like, especially when you win the comp in Australia, like if you get, I think it's like top 5 places, you get to go to America. They pay for your flights to go there for the actual championship.
The World Championships.
It's crazy.
So, like, these things have been around for a while. So Magic the Gathering has really started off as more of like that. This is what I was saying. Like, they're more of that nerd culture, and it was real deep nerd culture. So as Big Papa Sid was saying before, people would call him a nerd. Like, I know when I had a Star Wars trading card game, which was made by Wizards of the Coast originally, and then they ditched it because it wasn't doing very well. I played that around year 8 in high school and going into year 9.
Was there many people playing it at school with you?
No. I had one friend at school who wanted to play the game with me.
So
right?
you had to
I
get
had
the cards.
I had all the cards, right?
Yeah.
But we'd play this in like in a period break at school, and like other kids in school other people in my class would come over and be like, "What the fuck is this shit?
Yeah.
Like that looks fucking queer." And they grab the cards, and I'd be like, "I'm like, dude, just go away." And like, I don't care that people don't like it. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I like this. Go away. But that's sort of the attitude that was really prevailing, like probably like 15 years ago. Now it's a very different scenario with some.
Yeah, it makes sense because I didn't really get into that at school. I was more skating and just hanging out.
Yeah,
that's what I was
it
doing.
Seemed like, and then it was sort of like you ventured into video games, and you're like, oh yeah, so I've been playing video games for a while, and then you're like, oh, I really like video games, and then you're like, there's this other side of games, is like,
and I feel like I'd exhausted my video games at the time. I felt like they were getting too easy.
Like, yeah, they are.
And that's like a point I put in the little thing down here in my little notes. I was like, do board game is like, do you find them harder than modern games, like the board games? Are they harder than the modern video games now, where they give you this golden trail to go to the next zone?
So it depends if they've got a simulated computer. So if they've got a simulated AI in it with like Lord of the Rings, where they simulate the deck is it's not intelligent.
No.
So much, but it's like a simulated computer where you shuffle it up and then it's randomized.
It's all RNG.
Right. But if you're playing against, so that those are, I think, very depending on the
like
ones
some of
we
those
played,
hard modes were friggin' hard, dude. How the hell can you beat them?
They have scaling in them, which is so much better than I think some games have.
Yeah.
The scaling just for the skill levels and the ramp up is just crazy. Like you just can't do it. And I think that they are harder. Some of those co-op games are a lot harder than
they're harder
than real
to get
games.
into as well, because you've got to read a manual and you've got to understand how it works. Because with a physical based game, you can cheat. You can go outside the box that you're in instead of a digital game where you're locked
The
in
rules
by
are
code.
set. Yeah, that's right. So I think the to the extent that maybe competitive games are harder. Well, I would compare them maybe to like multiplayer games on computer rather than maybe some like hard single player games. So if I think about the difficulty I have with Overwatch versus the difficulty I have with, say, like Destiny or something, well, it's not really comparable because one's a team game and one's like a 1v1.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the multiplayer games online are a lot easier than 1v1ing. You go into a deck contest. So Scuba would be able to speak to this a little bit more as well. You go into a contest of my deck versus your deck. There's elements of randomness, first of all, in that player's skill, but also in their deck.
In the draw as well. Yeah.
So their RNG of their draw, but also their deck. So when I used to play Pokemon TCG, you'd find that if you're playing a fire deck and someone just happens to have water and you got paired up with them, well, you basically lost because their whole deck counters your deck almost completely. So
yeah, that's a bit crap.
That was a struggle with Pokemon had that built into it, which is built into its nuts and bolts. Like you can't take that out of Pokemon, so it's hard for them to the weakness. That sort of thing, it's built into the franchise. But I think it really messes with that game a little bit. Whereas other games have really good balancing where they don't have like, the swamp cards actually completely counter the, I don't know, I think swamp's the only one I know. Water, mana, whatever. What other ones for MTG?
I don't know.
They don't counter. There's not like it does double damage if you're playing against a swamp deck, right? So
I don't know too much about MTG with that kind of thing. I think there's always a way to counter everything.
But I mean like hard counter being in Pokemon, if you're weak, the attack does double damage.
Yeah, I don't think they have that kind of.
No,
they've got stuff maybe with the skeletons like light versus the
I'm not sure
undead kind of things, but yeah, that would suck. And I think that's why when they do the comps with MTG, it's not how many wins or loses you get. It's like a broad overall kind of. They got some way of ranking it. I don't know how they do it, but
yeah.
It's different.
I think they are. I think as a rule, you could say that board games have a much higher skill ceiling, but they also have a really hard entry level.
You've got to learn the rules.
Well, so first, you got to learn the rules, okay?
And that's a tough
thing. And it also depends on what you're playing. If you're playing a competitive game that uses RNG like booster packs, right? There's a massive like cost generally.
Yeah,
because it creates a self-sustaining economy.
So when I was playing a lot of the Lord of the Rings card game and getting into the other board games and stuff like that, I found I was spending more money than I was when I used to just collect and play video games.
Oh, yeah.
The amount of money you put into them because you go, I just need this extra card. I have to buy this other booster pack or this whole friggin' expansion box, whatever you buy for the living card games instead of the TCGs. It was crazy. And then when I went back to video games, I felt kind of good not spending that much money anymore. I was just like, geez, I get this game and I play it. But I wish it was still like that now, but it's not because you buy a half-ass game anyway now these days and you got to buy DLCs to get the full game.
Yeah, so if I pay $400 to build one Magic deck, right?
Yeah.
And I just play that deck and I go, this is the one I'm using for this cycle, right? Or this 3 months.
You're looking
series.
at $220 a deck if you want to build your deck for each season.
But the hours and you're not considering like the hours you're putting into that. You're not considering the fact that you build that deck, you also win more, so you may win money or actual cards back that you can sell on or trade.
You win your boosters every Friday, stuff like that.
So it's $200 on a deck, Scuba's saying. So and I mean, I reckon in Destiny there's some in the Spirit of Rebellion cycle, which is the one after the first cycle that Emily and I were first heavily into. They released 2 cards, one card being Force Speed and the other card being Ancient Lightsaber.
Okay.
They released 2 cards. Force Speed sells for $60 Australian. Just the card and 1 dice that goes with it.
That's crazy.
$60.
$60.
And you cannot get it cheaper. It's the most broken card.
It's still not quite as expensive as MTG yet, but it's creeping up.
I know, but like even for that, Like I go, oh shit,
A small card game from Fantasy Flight. Is it from Fantasy Flight?
yeah.
Yeah.
So if I need 2 copies of that, because it's the maximum you can have in a deck, that's $120 just for 2 cards.
But do you think the price is so high due to the lower amount of players buying them? So they've got to keep their costs up so they can reach their...
The price is high because it's it'll be the meta. It's meta dependent. So like if the meta decks use that card, the price goes up. If the meta decks don't use that card, even though it might have the same rarity, which is this is a legendary card.
But it's in general because you've got to buy these booster packs and to get higher. Do you reckon booster packs could be cheaper if more people played it? Because all it is realistically is just a piece of cardboard printed with the art.
I don't know that those things are set and they never change.
I know they don't. Like Pokemon cards have been $5 a pack since I was a child.
Yeah.
Like so it's kind of like video games. They haven't gone up or down. It's just kind of they've stayed the same.
I'm not sure about what they would do to ramp up the cost or to either lower the cost.
Yeah. Because like
I know what you're saying. You're saying like supply and demand.
Well, yeah, just like board games. Like you say, look at say Dark Souls board game. You go the Dark Souls board game's $170 versus a video game that costs $60 on release. The differences are crazy, but do you think they have to? Because you can't say that all those bits in there, fair enough, they cost a lot of money to buy miniatures, cards, board, and all this kind of stuff. You got to pay the artists. But I don't think as much work went into that as a fully fledged board video game where they've got to pay programmers, voice actors.
If they sold as many copies of the game as they did Dark Souls, then I reckon
then it could go down in value because then they've got to reach their profits faster.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like we've got two different economies of board games versus video games. This is what I was saying. Like video games are like magnitudes higher, more popular than board games.
They definitely are. Yeah.
The entry level is a lot of what people get put off by. So learning the rules, buying into a competitive game if you're going to play something like Magic.
Especially you've got to go and actually buy the card or buy the decks.
I think it's a bit of a cop out that a lot of these companies do when they release starter boxes. So Destiny does it. Magic does it. They release like a starter box, right? It's supposed to get you in. It's the entry level thing, and they're affordable.
Yeah. You go and play, but you can never go into a comp with that deck.
They are. They're not competitive.
No.
And that's a disappointing.
Because the one I want to get into is just because of my love for Final Fantasy.
It's a fancy like trading card game.
Yeah, it looks great.
It's pretty good.
And the artwork looks cool because it's all the original characters printed on the cards and stuff like that. But I could buy the entry packs. But do I want to go and buy every entry pack just to have them all? Because I kind of like the cards. And then I'm like, what kind of deck do I want to build? Do I want to build a Final Fantasy 9 or 8 or anything like that? I don't know. So I haven't gone into it because I'm like, I just don't know. I don't know if I'm going to get... First of all, I'm going to have to buy multiple copies of this game because no one else is going to buy the game with me. I'm going to have to buy enough for people to play with me. So... That's the thing, and I don't think it's big here.
I have that trouble. We all, unfortunately,
have that trouble because
with competitive games, with trading card games, we, as in you, me, Emily, Scuba, we're all playing a separate game.
Yeah, so we have to buy double.
Yeah, Emily and I play the same game, but she doesn't buy it. I buy it because it's mine.
Yeah, exactly. And the same with Ollie with Pokemon. You've got we use all his cards because he's got so many cards.
If we actually all played the same fucking game,
it'd be cheaper for us.
Yeah. But
at the moment, there's not one that we're all going, yes, this is our game. Except for Lord of the Rings, we all kind of went, yes. But still, Ollie went, yes, yes, yes. And he went nuts and went and bought everything. So.
But it's always good having that one person that does that. And like I've done that with all my Star Wars games as well. Like, and it's not a real problem. And I think that it's difficult for people as well. The cost of it seems a lot like it seems overcosted, as we were just saying before. Like it's too expensive. But again, it's not the same amount of value. It's not the same amount of time or value, or there's more in a board game than you think, and a more time. Like you have that board game, it will be fun it doesn't get old.
It doesn't. No, and you're not going to have problems with that system doesn't run anymore, or
let's say
it goes out of generation, doesn't look bad.
Let's say I go and buy Wolfenstein 2, right, for $60 from EB. Now, I finish that game, it is unlikely that after I finish that game that I will want to immediately replay it.
Exactly.
However,
yeah, fair enough.
If I go
I
and
can
buy,
see the replayability factor is in place there.
yeah, if I go and buy Lord of the Rings LCG, if I struggle in this game, like it's difficult, but I'm always enjoying this the difficulty and it's fun. All I'm going to do is go, I want to keep playing this game.
Yeah.
And you got to put more money in sometimes to go get different scenarios. But those scenarios never get old to recycle. We've done multiples of the same one.
Hell yeah. We've played through so many campaigns of the same one
same
on the actual
series. And you just go, it's fantastic.
Because it plays out different every time.
Exactly. And so,
but I think you also got to take into consideration of say you buy a video game, you can play it right now. If you buy a board game, you can't play it right now. Who the hell are you? If you've got no one to play it with when you buy it at that point, that may sit on your shelf for 6 months before you can actually group up with
that's right.
with your boys. So yeah.
And even then, you buy it right then and there, but you know that you won't. You can open it, look through it all, and then put it back, and then you might not even touch it for ages.
Yeah, I've got that Battles of Westeros. I played one game and that's it, and it's been sitting there. And I spent $110 on that board game.
But you just go, it's okay.
I'll play it one day.
Yeah,
and I've done that with the Dungeons and Dragons one, the Legend of Drizzt. I've done the same thing.
And in the end, you do have to. You've got to be proactive and go. I want time. I'm going to get the mates around and then do it.
You have to actually go out and do it.
Yeah, and that's why people reserve that and go, you know what? Let's just go to bloody video games. And you take the easy way, which is fine because so many of those video games are fucking amazing.
Yeah,
we've played some in the last year that have been unbelievable.
Oh hell
but
yeah!
When you go back and you go to this tabletop experience and you sit across the table for people, work together, or you play competitively and have a bit of fun, there's nothing like it.
Yeah, exactly.
No other experience. What's up, Raiden Storm? We are here.
Yeah, the bearded men.
The bearded overlords.
Bearded is not coming.
Show us your beard strength, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I do. I've gone through my board game phase. I feel like I've gone back onto my video game phase. If you caught me 2 years ago, I'll be hell yeah, board games, friggin' hell. This is where I'm at.
Probably
I love them.
drawn from streaming and playing and doing this a lot more. We've
probably,
lost
and I think it's more of the time factor. Like me, I can sit and punch out an hour worth of video games with my son while he's asleep.
Yeah.
Rather than I've got to go and go hang out with got to leave my kid and go off and play games for a whole day with mates and get my time's worth.
Yeah.
Just priorities have changed. That's about it. I want to know what pushed you into starting to play board games again, or what got you into them originally.
Well,
why did you go, I want to pick this arm?
Well, Emily and I were right into Star Wars when we first met, and we at this point when you and I were living together, we were at Supernova. You get this Game of Thrones board game and card game, and I was like, oh man, I got this old freaking Star Wars card game.
And that's when you started collecting that again.
Yeah, I went and I'm like, oh man, I'm going to go find that at my parents' house. And Emily and I went there one day. We were just nearby, and I dropped in and I found the box that had it in there. Had this.
I can't believe you could find that.
And had had my old cards in there. Opened up and got them all out, and I built some decks, and we just played it. And when you guys were starting to get into Magic, then.
That's right.
And I was like, this is sick.
Because it got discontinued in 2008, was it? Or was it earlier than that?
I think it was earlier than that. Yeah, it didn't last long. It did a Revenge of the Sith series when Revenge of the Sith came out, and then shortly after that, they were doing a Rise of the Empire set that never got released.
Okay.
Apparently, all the cards were all done, and then they cancelled the whole thing.
Yep.
Which is pretty sad, to be honest. Like
Wizards of the Coast just went, no.
Well, there were some rumors that the Decipher version, so Star Wars CCG, was doing so good. It was massively popular. The card art was a bit questionable, but the mechanics of the CCG were apparently very popular and very fun, that it was competing and almost beating Wizards of the Coast's Magic the Gathering at the time when it was popular. So Wizards of the Coast bought the Star Wars rights off Hasbro to sync. That's what the rumor was. They did it to tank, or not necessarily immediately tank it, but eventually just sink it and make sure it went away forever. And it hasn't come back. A Star Wars booster, trading card game hasn't come back until now.
Yeah, this is Star Wars Destiny, and that's because Fantasy Flight own the rights to that now.
Yeah, and so they were doing I think they picked the right franchise that they have the rights to actually turn into a booster pack game.
Yeah.
Star Wars has.
And it's interesting to see a Fantasy Flight game go that way because I don't think any other Fantasy Flight game is that way. I think it's always expansion
Game of
packs.
Thrones started off that way.
It did,
Game
yeah.
of Thrones CCG.
That's the one that got discontinued in 2008. I do remember.
Yeah.
So that was discontinued, and then that's when the living card games came out.
They're great. Living card games.
I think they're better. You don't
fantastic.
have to fork out so much money for boosters or buy a single card that's
It
going to
really
cost you $80.
takes the money side out, and you don't just win because you got more money.
But then when you really want to get into it, you got to buy 2 starter packs. You got to go, I've got to fork out and get the 2
I had 2
cores.
Star Wars core sets. No, I had 4 because I bought Emily 2 as well.
That's right, because you needed everything. That's crazy, man.
Yep.
And we've done the same thing with the Lord of the Rings. We had all up together.
I bought a core set. You bought a core set. Ollie bought a core set.
And Sam had one as well.
Yeah, it's just everyone's got core sets all over the place.
And so we had enough cards. We had bloody missions coming out of our arsehole. Far out. The same missions, but yeah.
So we're getting a bit long in the tooth here, mate. What's going on in the other questions we got here? So
But for me, the push towards board games, I think it was just I was always intrigued by them. Because I was kind of like, I'm kind of
You
done.
also have like one person who almost like goes, "Hey, have you played this?"
Yeah, and then
you're
you
like, "What the hell is that? A board game?" You're like, "Oh."
And I saw it, and I was so into Game of Thrones back then. Like the books were pulling me in, and that was just. I think that was like the first or second season.
That was when you just got back
came
from
out.
America, and you were reading.
All
the third book.
Yeah, the third book, and I was just like, "Holy crap, this is my life, man!" I just wanted more of this friggin' series because the TV show doesn't give me enough. Where the books will give me everything, and then I'm like. I want to play a game about it. And I saw this card game, and because all the digital video game versions, they were garbage, man. They were so bad. And this was way before the Telltale series came out. I just kind of went, I'm going to get it. I have this push to get the first card game. And then after that, it was like, I want to get into Magic. And so I started buying some MTG cards and stuff. And so, and then it went from there. Like, I'm like, what are the cool board games? So we went and got the Dungeons and Dragons, Legend of Drizzt, the miniatures based one where you don't have to have a narrator or a DM or anything like that. It's just you play off the cards. Same thing. The cards tell the journey. So interesting. And I really got into it, but I've kind of let that side of my life just kind of plateau out at the moment due to I'm just enjoying my video games again. I'm really enjoying playing the older ones that I never got to play. Like ticking the backlog off. It's good.
Yeah. We'll have to get. What I want to do soon is now that we're doing some board game streaming, Emily and I.
Yeah.
We'll have to organise a night when we can do it on a Saturday, and we'll get Scuba to come around and bring some MTG decks.
Yeah, you bring some old decade-old cards, and we can play some. What do they call it when you can use the old games? I forgot that game mode where all the old cards and stuff like
Unlimited. It was called Unlimited in Pokemon, but
yeah, it's not unlimited. That I think it's something like
Legacy.
Something weird like that. Legacy Classic. I don't know what it is. But yeah.
Yeah, we should do that because I like to appreciate like all the different stuff, and we can do a little stream for people, and lots of people know how that game works.
Oh, everyone knows how to play that game. It should be. Anyone that plays a card game and has played any other board game
a lot
probably
of them
came in through Magic.
Yeah. It's sort of like MMOs. People came from WoW.
Yeah. But I was also thinking today, has board games changed video games due to like, say, before the Dark Souls series came out, everything was getting very standard and force-fed. Like you couldn't really go through a game and go, I can't beat this boss ever and put this game down. There was no games like that unless you played on the harder difficulties.
You know, maybe it took you a few tries.
Yeah.
To beat a boss. But you knew you were going to do it.
Yeah, you always knew you were going to finish that game.
Yeah.
There was no way that you could stuff up your gameplay and start again.
No.
Do you think by people wanting harder games, like from board games, wanting to learn harder rules and really sink into it, do you reckon that affected the video game industry, or do you think it was just...
Yeah, I think it's a combination of that and the pool of people that games now have to draw from is so much bigger. There's different types of people now.
Yeah.
Whereas before you had a small group of nerd community, of like geek community that wanted a game they could pay $60 for that lasted, hours and hours and hours because it was hard and it was replayable. So like the original Doom or something like that was tough.
Yeah.
Right? But then as that grows and we get more people,
They've got to cater
involved.
for everyone.
They've got more. No, they don't have to cater for everyone. They've got more people that they can cater to.
Okay.
So they can create games for the people who are like, just want a fun bit of, Call of Duty action or like a bit of Assassin's Creed. Not hard games, but very action adventure, fun, exciting, and, very enjoyable, right? Then you go out a bit further, and on the fringes, you get more like, oh, well, these games are tough. Like the Japanese, like JRPGs, they're kind of tough, but they're not super hard.
Yeah.
And then you get right out onto the fringes, and then like you've got people who are just playing Dark Souls, Neo, Nier Automata. These really old like classic, sort of like PS1 or like that era type of game where you've got your health bar, and then it's just you die and game over.
Yeah, and you just go back to your last save.
Yeah, it's like not game over so much, but it's like last save. But these people who are already in like certain circles, all it takes is for them to try broadening their horizon and going out into a different little section.
It's just like me with Dark Souls.
Yeah.
I was always the JRPG guy. That's
Exactly.
all I ever played was my RPGs, and they were all like Final Fantasy turn-based type games. And then I went, I'm going to try this Dark Souls series, and I'm dead set, man. This is one of the best game series I've ever played.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
I love the hardness of it. I love the constant thinking. Like when you get to a boss fight, you go, what are the friggin' mechanics for this fight?
Yeah.
Because you don't know.
Well, and that it takes a lot from board games, but I think it's more of they're both hybrids of each other. They both take a lot from each other. Board games take a lot from video games, and they're the difficult ones. And then video games do it as well when they add, some more meta elements. So like not just the combat, but like the outside elements. Oh, what gear should I be wearing? That's a lot of that comes from like old D&D. Oh, I'm wearing this piece of armor. So when the enemy rolled that result, it actually didn't affect me because I've got this piece of armor.
Yeah, you've got the stats bonuses
and
for it.
Yeah. RPGs converted into games like
that's
Dark
how it all
Souls.
started, yeah.
Exactly. Games like Dark Souls, then you've got, now we've just got the same thing but in a video format. So I think that they have heavily influenced each other.
They've all like,
and
of
as
course,
the same
board games helped video games to start originally.
The same thing
from the
applies where people are trying things like Dark Souls who would just normally play Call of Duty.
Yeah.
People who are playing Call of Duty or Dark Souls now go and play a board game because they're like, oh shit, what's this? This has got Star Wars written on it. I like Star Wars. I'm going to try.
Yeah. Or you could do anything like, say, like you've got the bloody Dark Souls board game. That could get people into it.
Exactly.
Even though it was a pile of trash. It's right there.
So,
Big Papa Synth said, do you guys think D&D style video game where you could be regular characters but you're on a board, like matchmaking D&D on a console or PC?
There's pretty games kind of like that.
Yeah, kind of.
Like tactics games are kind of like that.
Yeah.
Kind of.
You've got your character, you get on and you go through your
Divinity
tiles.
is very close to that sort of game as well. Strategy type, turn-based.
Yeah.
And
it is. That's gone way back.
Oh, but matchmaking.
Yeah, matchmaking for D&D.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Do you mean like multiplayer? So like actual fight other people?
So you can sacrifice your character, because in D&D, when your character dies, he dies.
Yeah,
he's gone for good. You can
out
have
of the
that. You
campaign.
can have that character for a decade if you had the same mates playing D&D. That'd be a sad day to lose that character.
Scuba, we have many hours to learn. Don't you worry.
My patience may run thin these days.
Scuba, don't listen to him. He's
no. Jordan's got patience for video games, and I'm just like,
no. I got patience for learning.
For learning, yeah.
Patience for learning is a better way of putting what I have.
You may see my glazed eyes happen, and then I say, "Do I use this card now?" That's what I'll start doing because I didn't listen to the last half of your
ridiculous
instructions. But yeah,
ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know. But last question, let's ask: why do you think people are moving towards board games rather than modern games? If you think people are moving towards them, is it just more to trial?
Well, sort of what we said earlier.
Yeah, they just want.
I think it's lots of stuff. They want to change. They want more difficulty. And they also want a face-to-face social interaction
rather than on the internet.
Yeah, it's one thing for me and you to jump on Discord, play some games of PUBG. It's another thing.
It's like having an old LAN. Like that was so good. We used to group up.
Yeah, but then when you're done with that game, you get up and you go and get some food. You know, but it's just a hangout session.
Yeah,
and that's what board games do now. And anything that draws people together more in a social setting that's now more antisocial than ever given we're all
Glued to
face
phones,
deep in
yeah.
our phones, is good for your brain.
Yeah.
I guarantee you. And learning how to strategize in a game, especially working together in something like Lord of the Rings LCG, where you work together and you do stuff, and like nothing could be better for you as a human being than to just go in and go, oh, this is a cooperative game. This isn't don't cooperate and be a dick. This is actually cooperate and work together to solve a problem.
You'll read it. So you're the reading type of guy, and so the explanation given to you. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
I will watch a video on YouTube rather than reading the manual.
I'm not sure what I'd be better at.
I think it's a combination of all of them together, but there's one stronger point. That's
Yeah.
Yeah. I enjoy them. I do. I think it's just lately I haven't played many. I haven't played a board game for a long time.
I think you underestimate how much playing one again would draw you into.
I think
doing
if I went to play Lord of the Rings again, I'd be sucked in again. If I pulled my dwarf deck out and had all my friggin' clan just sitting there, I'll be like, hell yeah, this is unreal.
Killy and Philly.
Yeah, Killy Philly just bringing out the crew, man, and then you've got like everyone can hit, like all my dwarves, man.
Just Gimli out.
Swarm, mate. It was a swarm.
As soon as the enemy's revealed, he's ready.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was fun. It was good.
Yeah. Doesn't take much.
Nah.
Trust me. I just pulled out Destiny and started playing it again. I'm like,
there we go. There you go. Buying all cards.
That's right. Yeah. So that's probably going to do it this week.
I reckon. We just thought we'd have a little casual discussion about our board games this
Go
week.
and play some board games, you guys.
Yeah.
Go and do it. If you don't have any, go and...
And the one thing that I've always wanted to play is I've always wanted to play D&D.
Yep.
But I've never had a crew to play D&D. And because you need a DM, and who the hell is going to DM? So eventually I'd love to have... even a Skype little stream of a DM, like someone
Discord video. Fuck Skype.
Yeah, Skype's done, but yeah, Discord video's the way of the future.
Yeah. I think if I could recommend at least 3 games to pick up, I'd say Lord of the Rings LCG for the cooperative experience.
Yep.
Star Wars X-Wing for the like just 1v1 experience, and Pandemic for another cooperative experience.
And if anyone's into RPGs, they can go Dungeons & Dragons because you get your hero. You can level your hero up.
Yeah, so
it's
pen
more,
and paper RPGs. Yeah.
No, or even like Dungeons & Dragons, like the board game version where you've got the tiles. So you each, when you get to the end of the... Like, it's more of like a physical dungeon you walk through. When you get to the end of the tile, a new friggin' tile pops out.
Popper said he'd DM for us.
The big Popper DM, mate. You know the rules, mate. You've got all the books. The hundreds of dollars worth of books as well that go along with it.
Yeah. I've got a good RPG, the End of the World RPG that Fantasy Flight released about zombie apocalypse.
That's pretty cool.
That it's actually like you play as you, and you have whatever's
your own character.
You start the game with whatever's literally in your pockets at that time.
Wow. I'd have a set of keys and a wallet and a phone.
And you, but I think you know that going and you're allowed one like thing that you wouldn't normally have in your pocket.
Okay.
And, yeah, so
that'd be cool. And do they work off like how much % battery you have on your phone? That'd be unreal. That'd be cool.
But it's whatever you want it to be. Again, like all those RPGs, you can say one battery's dead now.
Yeah.
So
I'm really I was really interested about the XCOM, how they had the app for the iPad or phone, where that would kind of trigger the game along like a
XCOM
system.
board game.
But I don't know. It didn't have.
I heard it wasn't great.
Yeah.
So
didn't really work. But
all right,
we were into them a lot. We probably still are if we get playing them. Jordan's always into them, but yeah,
mate,
he's hooked, mate. He's hooked.
All the game theory that comes out of them is unreal.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Game
he loves
theory,
it,
mate.
He loves game theory.
It's the greatest thing ever. All right, so a few shout outs to Is in Hero for the donation last night.
Yeah, well, you bloody legend. Mate.
Zach for dropping in every time. Big Popper for dropping in every time. Scuba for
just being the man.
Sticking by.
He's been here. He was kind of the first. He was the first regular that was here all the time, and now he's streaming over at Scuba Edge. If you want to go check him out, he's
Drip Dry for resubbing this week.
Yeah, he did actually. Yeah, we got always Etar. He donated 100 bits like an absolute legend this week.
Etar, there you go. So shout out to all of you for supporting the show.
Yeah, and Appy just for being there, man. He's king.
Podcast was longer this week. Was it? Only a little bit.
Maybe by
do an hour
5 minutes. Yeah.
But you like it. He wants longer podcasts.
You want longer ones, don't you?
Wants 3 hours.
You can get that with our IRL streams whenever that happens eventually one day.
We'll just do it until we pass out.
Yeah, and then you can watch us sleep like some of those weird streamers that fall asleep on the bed.
Weird,
like how could you stream and then fall asleep like on stream? Mate, I don't know.
All
All right,
right.
let's go. Let's finish up. Thanks all again for being here. And don't forget to give us shout outs. And don't forget to share our content on social media as well to always broaden our subscribe.
Share on Twitter
Yeah.
and Facebook and stuff with
We can get new viewers and
like-minded people and on Twitch. But
yeah. And don't forget, we do have a shirt up now. So yeah, shirts are out, Emily. You were right.
that's right.
We've got the grey and white ones out. I've still got to work on. I've got to get my lazy ass and work on the black one.
Yeah, it's tough.
Dude, yeah,
Aaron showed me what he has to do. It's a laborious task.
Yeah, it's more time consuming more than
very
anything.
time consuming to remove some of the edit some of the stuff that's in this
but,
friggin' picture.
But it will get there, and we're thinking about doing a few other things. There might be a mug on there. It's just give us your ideas. Like I know that Drip Dry wants an Oh My Godfather one, and like that'd just be weird. Just have like the what is it? The Dark Souls bonfire, and then Oh My Godfather, like just big bold letters. Just make some weird things. If you got ideas, chuck it out.
Ridiculous. Yeah. Creative. Jump in Discord, and that's where you can chat with us.
Yep.
So yeah,
we're going to be streaming this week. It's going to be back on regular like time structure for me because I'm going back to work and no more holiday mode. So
that's right.
I'll be up at 3:30 a.m. till
so
6:30. So
more Dark Souls 1, more Super Metroid,
Yep.
and there is a Twitter poll for what I will play after Super Metroid. I think it finishes today.
Okay, so everyone jump on
So
today and
jump on that.
I'm going to jump on. I'm going to chuck on
Yeah,
something.
you
I
can
don't
pick
know.
between Fallout 3, Diablo 2, Red Dead Redemption, or what was the other thing?
I want Fallout 3.
Portal 2, did I say that?
Yeah, I think it's Portal 2. I want Fallout 3. I don't know. I love
Oh,
that game.
it's
man,
only
Fallout.
got one vote.
No.
Yeah,
All right,
it seems
fine.
like it's going towards Red Dead Redemption,
Yeah.
which is fine because it's a good game.
Well, 2's coming out soon, so perfect time to play it.
Exactly.
So cool.
Fantastic game. All right, guys.
We're done. Catch us later.
We'll see you next time.
We'll see you during the week as well.
That's
if you
right.
jump on stream.
In
All
like
right.
a couple of days.
Yeah, sweet. See ya.